Welcome to the LaunchX lecture on branding. At our summer program, we present an interactive lecture and workshop on the topic of branding featuring David Henderson, founder of the Irish design firm David Henderson Design. DHD specializes in web design, logos, graphic design, animation, and 3D visuals. The firm has worked for clients all around the world, and we're proud to present their take on branding at LaunchX. Let's begin. Branding has existed for millennia. From ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics to ancient Greek and Roman crests, branding has been a way to identify ideas, people, and organizations instantly. So branding isn't new, but what's the psychology behind branding, and what makes it so important? Justice William Douglas of the U.S. Supreme Court said, 90% of our decisions are made on an emotional basis. The other 10% are our rational minds used to justify those decisions. Good brands evoke emotions and tell a story. They're memorable. A strong brand understands they need to be authentic, stand for something, and carry a vision. In other words, a good brand needs to have an identity, including elements that make it unique and instantly recognizable. A key part of a unique and effective brand is a logo. Let's begin by exploring the three categories of logos: typographic, symbols, and combinations of the two. Typographic elements are design elements which include text. Examples are the Coca-Cola, Disney, or Google logos. These brands are immediately distinguished and easily recognizable due to their typographical elements. Symbols are another design element used in logos. Symbols offer a great deal of flexibility in design, and like their typographic counterparts, symbols should be easily recognizable and evoke a personality for the brand. Combinations of symbols and typographics operate on the same principles. Logos are arguably one of the most important parts of a brand. They should be aesthetically pleasing, memorable, unique, and convey what the brand stands for, the ideas behind it, the emotions it should evoke, and the impression it's meant to create. There are two fundamental principles to a good brand. Good brands should be simplistic and unforgettable. Simplicity is key. According to Leonardo da Vinci, simplicity is the ultimate form of sophistication. Good brands should also be unforgettable. Let's take a look at the logo for the 2012 London Olympics. The logo was widely criticized in the headlines, despite being the culmination of years of design planning. Despite the bad press, the design firm in charge stood firm in their reasoning. What's your opinion of the logo? Is it a hit or a miss? Logos are sometimes criticized and sometimes praised for their design. There are strict rules as to what works and what doesn't, but the fundamental principles of design remain the same. Simple plus unforgettable equals timeless. Let's look at a few famous and iconic brands. First, Guinness. Guinness began selling product in 1862, over 150 years ago. Today, Guinness is a brand with a strong personality. It serves as both a national symbol and a cultural identity for the people of Ireland. Notice how Guinness has changed its branding over the years, reflecting the modern trend for more simplistic logos. But the iconic harp has remained. Guinness has kept up with trends in the design world, but retained its personality. The brand stays timeless. Here's an example of early Guinness advertising. The brand conveys a playful, cheery, and positive personality. Guinness made the decision that evoking these emotions in consumers would be the best strategy to maximize sales. The company had developed its image, its personality, its brand. Now let's look at a more recent example of Guinness advertising. This advertisement represents a drastic shift in what Guinness is and what it stands for. Attention is drawn to the sophisticate, the craftsman, the intellectual. The carved wood evokes a sense of grandeur and majesty, new sides to the Guinness personality. In the corner, the tagline, "Some are made of more," stands out in all caps sans serif font. Guinness has changed the emotions it evokes in consumers. The brand now stands for something else entirely. Next, let's look at another iconic brand, Nike. Nike's logo is arguably one of the world's most recognizable, and for good reason. The icon captures the essence of what the company stands for: speed, intensity, agility, the essence of athletics. The iconic logo has graced Nike products for decades. Its simplicity combined with its unmistakable silhouette make it unforgettable. Let's take a look at a newer example, Instagram. Instagram recently underwent a major change in its branding. The new logo presents a new consistent color scheme, which it seamlessly integrated across all of the platform's subsidiaries. With just one color scheme and graphic style, Instagram is able to immediately associate its other apps with its main one. As with previous examples of effective branding, Instagram shows consistency in spreading its brand. Announcements use the same color, scheme, and style as the logo itself, seamlessly blending together. The brand is associated with a visual identity with itself, one that is unique and instantly recognizable. The warm, bright colors and bold graphics give Instagram a personality, which, when combined with the experience of using the platform, comes together to define what Instagram is. It represents creativity, community, and fun. These examples demonstrate what a strong brand needs to do. Good brands are authentic. They represent accurately what a company does. They should also stand for something. All companies have a mission and values. The brand must convey these values. And all companies have a vision for the future or ideals that they embody. The brand must carry this vision. Now that we've studied well-known examples of branding, let's examine how you can do the same for your company. We'll go over the process of creating a visual identity and a brand in a series of steps, from the initial brainstorming all the way to completion and export. Before you begin, it's essential to understand what you're doing. Step 1. Take some time to define your foundation, writing down what your company stands for, its values, and the emotions you want your brand to evoke. Step 2. Take some time to do research. Check out websites like Dribbble for inspiration, browse stock photos, or maybe pull out a sketch pad and design your own. Sites like Adobe Typekit are great for typographic inspiration, and Coolors is a fantastic site to generate great color schemes with one click. Research goes hand in hand with creativity to help you come up with many options. Be sure to consider these components of your logo: the colors, fonts, and shapes. Colors evoke emotions that customers will relate to your brand. Consider how you want the customer to feel when they interact with your brand, and choose appropriate colors, and keep them consistent. Color schemes vary widely, but consistency is key. Never use additional colors or too many colors in your color scheme. Similar to colors, fonts can play an important role in the perception of your brand, portraying playfulness, elegance, strength, or comfort. Look at different serif, sans serif, script, and modern fonts, and explore how they portray potential elements of your brand. Finally, shapes. Every line or curve has the potential to beg the eye to follow, where shapes like circles show warmth and friendliness, while rectangles show order and trustworthiness. Consider how accelerating curves, unique angles, and shapes portray your identity. Step 3. Combine your list of values and what your company stands for with your design inspiration to translate into something unique. Here are some examples of the sketching process. Don't be afraid of wrong answers. It's okay to try different things and many different ways to represent your brand. Circle similar designs and consult with your team to narrow down to a specific variation. We're going to group together steps 4 and 5. Identify and illustrate. Use computerized design tools such as Adobe Illustrator to develop a graphic of your sketch. Feel free to create many examples. More is better. Try out different color schemes, fonts, and images. The illustration stage is this time when pen and paper are translated into real computer graphics, which can be printed and placed on websites and social media. It's an essential step to developing your brand. Next, it's important to categorize your designs. Create different design concepts within each theme and show variations on that theme. It's important to consult multiple opinions at this stage, from team members, advisors, and even potential customers, to help determine the best option for you. It's good to do multiple iterations of logo development to narrow down options. Choose one theme, then try out various options on that theme. Never settle for compromise with logo design. Your company's logo is of paramount importance. A good first impression can make or break customer relationships. Lastly, check out some other resources for design inspiration. Branding is an extensively studied field, and an abundance of learning material is easily accessible. We'd also like to extend a special thanks to David Henderson Design for their contribution to this presentation. Best of luck on your own experience with branding.